I think we're on.
It does have a green light. Green light means we're ready to go.
Is that green, you think?
Well, it looks a little green.
Kind of whitish, I thought.
Well, from my side, but I have more illumination coming here in the bounce off my screen, so it looks a little green. So I think it's time to go.
I'm feeling kind of green.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Yes, it's Mike and John got it going on. Brought to you by your sponsors.
Mike and John got it going on. Mike and John got it going on. Mike and John got it going on. Mike and John got it going on.
So before we officially get the show underway,
Yeah,
as I was talking before the show intro, you said I posted it.
you did.
Kind of like a radio term.
Right.
When you talk up to the first vocal. Still got it.
Yeah. Yes, your.
How about that? I couldn't even hear it.
I mean, you were
still
known
got
as
it.
the Postmaster General
There you
back
go.
in the radio days.
Back in the day.
Yeah, back in the day.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
okay.
the only tune we're spinning these days. That's okay. Because I can listen to whatever I want whenever I want.
It's number one with a bullet.
Yeah, it is. You know,
So-
maybe we should release that as a 45.
Oh, yeah, sure. I mean, vinyl's back.
Well, we could, or just we'll put it on iTunes and see how many people download the Mike and John theme.
Oh, God, yeah.
They're
We'll
probably
break
all
the internet.
Well,
I mean,
somebody's got to do it.
yeah.
Why not us?
If we haven't done it by now.
Yeah.
So, anyway, yes, it is a Wednesday.
Yes, it is.
And, you know what?
No.
I forgot to tell you.
Here we go.
just-
Pre-show surprise.
Live. This is
happening.
live.
Do we have a guest that I didn't know
Yes,
about?
we do, and it's an international guest.
Oh.
We'll be calling our Madrid
We
correspondent.
better hook up the phone. You know,
So,
yeah, the pre-show
and
prep, that didn't
you'll-
really happen.
Yeah, you'll.
I guess we were talking about other things going on.
Yeah, I got a little distracted, and then, yeah.
Okay.
These
All
things
right.
will happen.
We got- all right. We have-
So,
All right, who's
and you'll
joining
need to
us?
dial Charlie
Charlie.
Kushner.
Can we call him Charlie?
He's our Madrid correspondent, and
Charlie
yeah,
in Madrid.
yeah, he's in Madrid.
All right.
That's why he's our Madrid correspondent.
And
And
I'll have you just write down the
yeah,
number.
and it's a longer one because it's international.
Oh, so it's going to go on my rate.
Well,
I see.
I don't know that really does that
Just-
apply anymore.
I don't know. Does
you
it?
know, because you remember back in the day,
What do we have to call him after 11
you
p.m.?
had to call after 11 or
All right,
you know,
it's 11:01.
or even when cell phones first started, you would get your bill and you'd be like, "Oh my god, I called
It was
out
so
of
many-
area,"
so many
or
minutes. Yeah.
it'd be ridiculous.
Yeah,
And
so now, if I get charged for this, we're charging this to the Gigo account.
well, yeah, I mean, you'll
Reimburse myself for
okay.
$9,000.
All right, so
to call
here's-
Charlie in Madrid.
here's the number.
Does he know we're calling?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
All right, so we're going to call Charlie in Madrid. And you're learning this the same time I am.
yeah.
Also coming up today, our 2-cent history lesson. We'll take a look at our trivia answers from last night. It did have to do with the ladies and flirting. And there was a lot of great guesses, but somebody got it fairly early on. So we'll get to that in just a little bit.
There's your number.
That the area code is 34.
That's the
country code?
That's the country code.
I see.
Yeah.
Country code.
Country
Brought
code.
to- It's like country time.
I like country code. It was
Country
it was
code.
a 90s drink.
It sounds like a beer, doesn't it? Well, a bottle of country code.
No. Anyway,
okay.
so we'll be calling him in a few minutes. Hopefully, we'll see if we can make the international
We'll
connection.
see. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't think I've used my phone to call internationally.
Yeah, I don't know.
So we'll find out.
I've
if
not
it
used
works.
your phone to call international either.
Thank
so.
you. I appreciate that.
All right.
Before we get into all that, we'll take a look at local news brought to you by Cooper and Binkley Jewelers in downtown Brighton.
All right, here's what's going on. Livingston County is projected to lead Southeast Michigan over the next 3 decades in population, housing, and job growth. That's according to a draft summary of a 2050 forecast by the Southeast Michigan Council of Governments, or SEMCOG. It was presented Monday during an open house at the Green Oak Township Hall. That summary shows a nearly 23% increase in the projected population for Livingston County by 2050. According to the 2020 census, the county's population was about 194,000 people. By 2050, SEMCOG predicts an increase of more than 44,000 people to 238,251 residents. Within the county, Handy Township is projected to see the largest rate of population growth, 45.4% in the next 3 decades. Commensurate with that overall population growth, SEMCOG predicts a 23.8% increase in households across Livingston County and a workforce increase of 26% by 2050. Again, both of those rates top the 7 counties that make up SEMCOG: Livingston, Macomb, Monroe, Oakland, St. Clair, Washita, and Wayne. You'll find additional details on our website, mikeandjohnpodcast.com. A suspect in a Green Oak Township home invasion last week has been arrested and is facing felony charges. Green Oak Township police say on Friday, January 6th, just after 6 p.m., officers responded to a report of a man who had entered a residence via an unlocked door on Pier Road. According to a press release, the homeowners, who were not home at the time, witnessed the incident live on their cameras at the residence and reported the incident to police. They used the cameras to yell at the suspect. Isn't technology interesting?
Get off my lawn.
Get off my carpet. The man, described as a white male wearing a U of M sweatshirt and driving a muddy gray Ford F-150. Yeah, we know who you are.
Could have got that thing clean.
Fled the scene without taking any items. About 15 minutes later, officers received another report of a man who'd entered a residence on Longford Court. Just as in the initial incident, the out-of-town homeowners also viewed the suspect on their security camera. This time, though, when officers arrived at the scene, they located the suspect, who matched the description of that scene on Pier Road. They took the suspect into custody, recovering stolen items. Officers believe the suspect to be under the influence of some intoxicating substances. The suspect was lodged in the Livingston County Jail on 2 counts of breaking and entering, operating while intoxicated, and attempted vehicle theft. And finally, Bed Bath & Beyond will close 5 more stores in Michigan, including its location in Livingston County. According to an updated list posted by the company, the Bed Bath & Beyond store in Brighton will soon close, along with locations in Ann Arbor, Auburn Hills, Lansing, and Muskegon. The closings follow a notice earlier this month from the Union, New Jersey-based retailer that it might need to file for bankruptcy as sales continue to fall. On Tuesday, the company said it will cut up to $100 million, and that will include layoffs of staff. Once the Brighton location shuts its doors, the nearest Bed Bath & Beyond store in Livingston County will be, or to Livingston County, will be in Novi or Okemos. And that is what is going on.
And news brought to you by Cooper and Binkley Jewelers in downtown Brighton.
Mark Binkley could barely drive a car when his dad bought the best jewelry store in town from Mr. Cooper. He spent a lot of time there after school and weekends, enough to know that he loved the jewelry business. Mark and his family were exiting a Sunday church service when Mark saw something more dazzling than any precious stone: Barb Lockery. Successful and beautiful was a combination too great to resist, and around Valentine's Day, a nervous and pale Mark Binkley asked Barb Lockery to be his bride. They were married in the rustic, cozy church sanctuary where they met, and decided to build Cooper and Binkley Jewelers together. You'll see them there every day, working hard just like you, helping people make special times in their lives even more special, with a gift from Cooper and Binkley. They'd love to hear your stories of romance at Cooper and Binkley Diamond Jewelers in lovely downtown Brighton.
Are we calling Charlie?
Right this second? No.
Well, no, not right this second.
No.
When we're ready.
I thought we were going to do trivia first.
Yeah, we're going to do trivia first. Yeah. Trivia last night, TNT. Tuesday night trivia brought to you by Tanya Zirkle, real estate agent Tanya Zirkle.
With RE/MAX Platinum, her motto, comfort is the key to home. You can find her online at Sold by Tanya Z, or email her, soldbytanyaz@gmail.com.
Our question, just about half, it was actually 48% of women, say they do this when they're flirting. We want to know what it is. Someone said they're flirting when they're flirting.
Oh, well, that's not an incorrect answer. No. I mean, technically, when you're flirting, you are flirting, whether you're doing it right or not.
But it would be more than 48% then.
Right.
It would
be 100%. 100% of flirting is flirting. Whether it's good or bad flirting, that's a different story. But
so what do you think the best way of flirting is? As a guy, we look at it and you go, is she flirting with me or isn't she flirting with me?
Well, no, that's a different thing.
Sometimes
98% of guys think a woman just saying hello or excuse me. Oh, she's clearly flirting with me. Oh yeah, she's flirting with me.
Yeah, that's it. Christine said blush and smile. A few people said the old twisting of the hair.
Yeah.
Now, do you look at that as flirting? Or is it a sexy twist? Or
That
is
could
like,
be, well.
I got to get
yeah.
out of here. How
Or
do I
if
get
it's,
out-
or if it's, I got gum in my hair. That's not very flirty. Charlie, who we're going to talk to in a few minutes, our
Okay.
overseas correspondent, he said, use the Natasha voice from Rocky and Bullwinkle to tell you their plans for capturing that dang moose and squirrel.
Okay, that's a little out
Yeah,
there.
well,
we may
he's-
have to discuss that with
That's
Charlie.
why he's overseas.
Yes, I see. Bite their lower lip, said Dan.
Yeah, that's a classic
A cutesy.
flirty. But these are, I mean, I know the question pertains to women flirting, but
Yeah.
I mean, if a guy bites his lip,
They might think there's something wrong with
like,
you.
are you hiding a sore?
What's wrong with that guy? You got lip sore. Bat their eyelashes, pretty popular guess. Flip their hair. Tilt their head when she's talking. Oh, you're so amazing.
Kind of like your dog.
I don't know.
When's dinner?
How about a treat? Talk differently, said Stephanie. And you think of that, and it's maybe it's a little sexier, as in maybe not the Natasha voice.
Well, no, but have a sultry.
little high.
Or see, I went low. You and I went low.
No, I don't know. The high voice probably not working.
Well, I mean,
Or
you know.
giggly, like
Well, yeah.
what's her name on? Oh, the high
What?
voice works.
Sure.
Okay, the high voice works for John. So if you're in the mood to
But
flirt with
not
John, you're
too
running-
high. If it gets into the baby, you're like, all right, I'm a little uncomfortable here.
Hi, little boy. How are you? Hey, big fella.
Cheryl says, pretend to hang on their every word. Yeah, you're so fascinating.
Ashley says, play naive.
Right.
Tell me more. No, we won't use
No.
Ross's answer. Okay. Laugh or giggle is pretty popular.
Right,
Touch them, said Linda. A little touch on the shoulder. You ever have a waitress do that to you when you're ordering? Waitress.
Right.
Touch. Oh, what can I get for you, Mr. King?
Hey, hun.
Oh, yeah. Call
Yeah.
you hon.
Hey, hun.
Oh, yeah.
But they're working for tips, huh? And it works. We're not very complicated
No,
creatures,
we're
really. We're not.
Oh, she touched my shoulder and called me
It's
hon.
okay.
Clearly, she deserves more money for that.
You get 10%.
Wow, big spender.
Let's see.
Yeah, a lot of flip their hair and
Steve, by the way, says, he was using this whole thread for tips. He goes, geez, if I would have known this, I would have dated more.
Yeah, taking a. Wow.
So he's taking some notes.
There you go. Laura just said smile. The old lick your lips, said Madonna. And she put a graphic on that. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
That has red lipstick?
Did
too.
we get a correct answer?
We did.
Oh, okay.
We did. It was early
wasn't
on.
Sure. Oh,
I
I see
believe.
Ross's answer now.
Yeah. That's more than flirting.
Ross is not incorrect. That's the later stage of.
that means the flirting worked. Tina got the answer right,
Okay.
and it was lie.
Oh.
Like, you're so funny.
Yeah. You're so
Have you been working
fascinating.
out?
Yeah. Wow, you're just amazing.
Yes, I've never met anybody like you.
Yeah.
If I want to marry somebody just like you,
Yeah.
that kind of flirtation,
Right.
might be
Christian, by the way, went the other way and just said, poke fun at them. So not lie, but actually tell the truth.
I'm surprised nobody said play hard to get, because in a way that can be flirting too.
Well,
or a
I
technique.
I
Sure.
suppose.
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
Congratulations,
Ladies,
to
you have to lie.
It works every time, apparently.
Like I said, we're not complicated
No, we're
creatures.
not.
All right, so trivia, of course, brought to you by Tanya Zirkle with Remax Platinum. Her motto, comfort is the key to home. You can find her online at soldbytanyaz.com or email her soldbytanyaz@gmail.com.
I don't know if this is going to work, but we're going to find out.
Just punch all those numbers and call.
I think I got them all.
I don't know.
mean, there's like 6,000 of them.
Welcome to Verizon Wireless. Your call cannot be completed as dialed. Please check the number and dial again. Announcement for Welcome to Verizon.
Okay, do I got to dial something else before the
I
34
thought that was
there?
that's the number he gave me.
All right, we'll try it one more time. 34.
All right.
Got them
Hi,
all right.
Mike and John trying to call
Internationally.
overseas. Yeah.
Welcome to Verizon Wireless.
I
So I
don't think
wonder
I don't
if,
think we can connect internationally.
I
Maybe I don't
wonder-
have that service. Do I got to put a 0 before the 3-4?
No, I don't know.
Well,
So-
sorry, Charlie.
Yeah, sorry.
We tried.
Let me see here. I wonder if I just. All right, hold on.
We're holding on.
Wait.
Are you trying it on your phone? We'll need your plug.
Yeah, we'll just see if it goes through. I'm getting farther than
All
you.
right. Getting
Let's
further
see.
than I
Yeah,
did.
yeah.
Maybe there's something in there. Hello.
Hello,
Is this Charlie?
this is Mike and John. How are you?
Hey, we're
Charlie.
good. How are you
Wow,
doing?
He's loud over there in
Yeah.
Madrid.
I'm good. It's you got me on one of the rare not beautiful days here in Spain. We've got a bunch of clouds. So
Oh, well.
So,
Thanks for the-
Charlie, what time is it in Spain right now?
right now it's 1:15 p.m.
All right,
Wow,
so
it's
you
an
are
afternoon.
6 hours ahead of us.
We are 6 hours ahead.
Did
It
the math.
changes with the daylight. They don't change at exactly the same time. So sometimes there's 5 or 7 hours. But
Right.
Usually about 6 hours.
Right.
So what do you do in Madrid?
Yeah, why are you now? You're from Livingston County originally, or you have connections to the area?
I'm a Brighton grad of the year 2000 from Brighton High School.
All right.
You know my mom very well. She volunteers over there at the Torch.
Yeah. Mary, right?
And what brought me here was my wife. My wife is Spanish, and we met in Chicago in 2007. So about 15 years ago now, and that's why my flirting answer was so bad. I have no idea how people flirt anymore. But we moved over here about 10 years ago.
So, what do you do? What are you doing?
I'm glad you asked. I work and have for the last 7 years for IE University. We are all of our programs are in English. So we have programs in, business administration. I work for the School of Global and Public Affairs. So we have a degree, a bachelor's in international relations. We have a bachelor's in economics, and we have dual degrees in business and international relations, law and international relations. The university also has architecture programs, communications programs, science programs, law, business, politics.
Are you a teacher
and
or a
we're in
recruiter?
brand new, we are in a brand new skyscraper. I'm putting the word out.
I
I don't
guess
think
so.
a lot of people know about IE University, and so I'd like people back there to know about us. That it's an option for their kids to, hey, don't take a gap year in Europe. Come over here and study, get a degree.
There you go.
It's a great university.
And so,
So
go ahead.
Go ahead.
No.
How did you end up there? When you met your wife, how did you meet her? Was this an online thing or what?
No, actually, my best friend who I was living with in Chicago at the time, his sister was doing an internship when she finished her studies in Madrid and had met my wife. And my wife happened to be going to do an exchange for her last year of university with the Art Institute of Chicago, the School of the Art Institute. And so because they were coming back at the same time, and my friend's sister was staying with us, she invited my wife and her friend over. And back in 2007, in August, I want to say around August 15th, I met her for the first time, and we've been together pretty much ever since.
Wow.
And
It's,
so, living in Spain, is that this time of day? Is
Siesta?
the siesta time, or is that just does that play out
it's
actually?
kind of a myth.
Okay, yeah, that's what I was going to ask. Yeah.
Nobody's napping right now.
Nobody's napping right now. I mean, some people are. Who knows? I haven't checked under everyone's desk for the George Costanzas out there.
So that's like a myth that is because that's something we were told as kids that
Midday they take a nap.
midday it's siesta
Oh, that
time, and
sounds
the
fun.
whole culture's
yeah,
built
it's
around
a little
that.
bit of a myth.
Okay.
They do take long lunches, though. So, like, the typical lunch hour is an hour, but people will take 2-hour lunches. It's not unheard of.
That's not unheard of here
There's
either.
a bit of truth to the siesta thing, but only in the lunchtime.
Right.
And lunch happens later at about 2 o'clock, which is, if I ever come back to the States, something I will bring back because it makes the end of your day just fly by. Your
Yeah,
morning
having,
is
if you're
productive.
having lunch
A
that
later
late, sure.
lunch.
Especially if it's a 2-hour lunch. By the time you know it, it's 4 o'clock, and then you go back to work for
Yeah.
an hour.
It's true. No, I still am unable to take an hour even. I eat my lunch and I'm done with it because I'm groomed on being in the States. So
Yeah.
I used to eat lunch at my desk when I worked in the States. Yeah, like I didn't have time.
And
I was just eating at my desk.
Is
so.
lunch a bigger meal or a lighter meal than like
Oh,
typical?
lunch is a big meal. They
Big
have
meal.
2 courses at lunch typically.
Okay.
No
It's
wonder.
huge.
Yeah.
It's
No wonder it
impossible.
takes
You
you
know
2
why they need that 2 hours.
Okay,
they have to recover from that.
So
You're like, now I need a nap.
and so then dinner is a smaller meal towards the end of the day then.
Dinner's very small.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, without kids. I mean, I have kids, so we're eating dinner. But if you don't have small kids, you're eating dinner at like 10
Well, that's
o'clock,
true, too.
and it's a few meats, some bread, some cheeses.
Is that
kind of
where
thing.
like tapas comes from? The idea of tapas.
Tapas actually comes from complimentary food that you get in bars.
Oh, it's
So
an appetizer.
you order a beer, and they bring out, like an appetizer.
Okay.
And it's just a little small dish. When you go back to the States, they make these really fancy dishes. And
Right.
you're like, I've never seen anything like that in Spain.
Okay.
So
It's
when's
just
the
a
last
free
time you've
little
been back
thank you for
here?
drinking.
So when you go to
I was
Applebee's
just
and
back
they
there actually for Christmas.
Oh,
were you?
okay.
Okay.
Yeah. And is there, I mean, having now living full time in Spain, is there any kind of culture shock when you come back here, or is that not really? I mean, you're kind of acclimated yourself to.
Yeah, one of the things, actually, it's funny. One of the things I would say that has changed over time is, I was like typical American. I didn't appreciate service over in Europe because it's really, you've got to get their attention, Don't be afraid to yell at your waiter. Where in the States, they're trying to rush you out of the table. Whereas here, they expect you to stay as long as you want. No one's rushing you out of the table. And so you're kind of, there's kind of like an experience. I appreciate the experience of eating at a restaurant here more than I did when I first moved here. And I kind of don't appreciate it in the States now because you're kind of going in, you're trying to just eat and get out so the person can get another customer in there and make their living. Whereas here they're getting paid what they're getting paid.
Right.
Gotcha.
That's interesting.
So what's like the typical family outing for a lunch or a dinner? I mean, like for us here, where
Actually,
they're
that's
going to
called Sobre la Mesa, and it takes about 6 to 8 hours. It's crazy.
Oh,
the
my
whole family gets together at a restaurant. They have to sit at the same table. So even if the whole family is huge, they wrap tables around the restaurant so they're all at one giant Last Supper meal kind of table.
Oh my gosh.
And it lasts for hours, anywhere
Oh,
from
man.
4 to 6 hours.
Oh my God.
we could never handle that.
For someone like me who has ADD and I can't sit still for very long, it's pretty torturous. But they understand. They
6 to
expect me
8
get
hours
up
for
and
one
move around.
meal. Oh my God, that's like a Christmas dinner, and gifts too.
It's Christmas and Easter. What are you kidding me?
A lot of families do this every Sunday. I'm lucky. My wonderful in-laws, we get together lots, but they don't do it every Sunday. So, so I'm very lucky in that regard.
All right, that's good. So, the thing is, when we started doing this, you were one of the first people to kind of
To find us.
find us and touch base and be regular. And then I think we found out you're actually in Madrid. It was like, okay, why?
For me, finding you guys I found out about you guys when the whole thing went up, when you left your radio show. I was in Spain and then in Chicago before that, so I didn't really follow your radio show before that. But then when I found out about that, I was like, oh, well, I'll start listening to their podcast because it just seemed like a good way to get my news from the area where I still vote in. And the other 2 news sources, they've got good journalists and all, but I tend to get lost in those Facebook comments, and I think your news is more positive for me to be reading than their news. So
Yeah, actually, speaking of Facebook, we noticed your comment today. We're asking about women flirting. You had a very specific answer about Natasha and Boris and Moose and
So
Squirrel.
how did what's your wife's name first, Charlie?
my wife's name is it's Elena, but
Elena.
we call her Chellen.
Chellen, okay.
It's a nickname that stuck.
Okay.
Chellen.
All right.
Chellen.
So
So how did she flirt with you to get your attention? Just talk like
I don't
Natasha.
remember anymore. I mean, she definitely doesn't do it anymore. We've been married for years now. I think I just came up with that because honestly, I am kind of thankful that I've been with my wife as long as I have been, because it was before all the Tinder stuff and all that stuff.
Right.
And it's just
Swiping
it's
left,
terrifying
swiping
as
right.
someone who's, I'm glad I don't have to put up with that. So I was just trying to think, like, God, I don't even know. I haven't thought about the last time how someone flirts. It's just not a thought in my head.
No, and you think, well, when you think about it now with online dating and everything else, it's a lot different as far as, is it an actual
Right.
flirt
How
or
do
a
you
not
do it?
flirt?
I'd imagine it's with text or something. No, it's just.
I guess like a poop emoji or something probably wouldn't be. Well, I don't think she's flirting with me there.
Maybe
you never know.
You never know.
You never know. You got to get up to date on your Gen Z text and your emoji use, because apparently us older people are using emojis wrong. And
You know what? You're right. Yeah, my 14-year-old, there's a couple emojis I've used. My 14-year-old's like, that doesn't mean what you think it means.
the thumbs up apparently is a bad thing, and I thought it was just saying it's good, but
Right.
apparently I've been telling my assistants here, like I've been mean to them or something.
Yeah. Hey, good job. What does the thumbs up mean then?
I think it's supposed to be like a sarcastic thing to them.
Right, exactly.
Like
That's
if
what
you're
I'm saying.
using a
It's like,
thumbs up,
you're-
like, oh, good job.
Yeah,
Right,
you're right.
yeah.
You're ironically using it or whatever. Like, oh yeah, good job, thumbs up there, fella.
When they must understand that people over the age of 40 are using it sincerely. We just mean good job.
Right.
It seems easy. You know? We thought it was clear. We don't know.
Right, we don't know anything. That's for sure.
We lost our cool decades ago.
Well, that is absolutely.
So,
the
Charlie,
truth.
do you think you'll ever move back to the States or no?
I mean, I definitely want to. My brother recently retired from the military. He moved back. He's living in Chelsea now with his family. He's got a daughter my daughter's age. My daughter's 5.5. My son's 2.5. But at this stage in our lives, and for the benefits that Spain offers us, with public daycare, with universal health care, it just doesn't make sense to us right now to move back. But I definitely want to move back at some point, even to the area, so that my kids can be close to their cousins, their grandparents. So it's a thought in my head. But
Right.
for right now, we're doing great out here in Madrid, and
Right.
we're able to get home twice a year usually.
And
so.
with your kids so young, I mean, Spain is their home. That's, obviously. And I'm assuming they have dual citizenship.
They have dual citizenship. They speak both Spanish and English, and they have the other half of their family here. So
Right.
This is their home just as much as the U.S. is.
Right.
So.
A lot of considerations there. Before we let you go, Charlie, I did want to ask you, just in terms of how people in Spain or overseas, how, when they watch the news coming out of the U.S., or how do they view our stuff? We're all embroiled in it, and every day we're like, oh my God, roll our eyes or whatever. I just wonder, from an international perspective,
Most
looking
of it
in.
they don't really react to. Every once in a while, there's a news event that the world does react to, that people in Spain react to. And it's usually with the same kind of flabbergasted reaction that a lot of us have in the States. A lot of it's kind of comical, but the one thing that is different there is that the United States isn't inconsequential. So when things like this do happen, it gets talked about in a manner that if it happened in another country, you wouldn't talk about it that way, just because it doesn't matter as much. But the U.S. is a world leader, so when things like January 6th happen, it's much more consequential to the world.
Yeah, interesting.
Than I think we understand.
Yeah.
But other than that, most of our little squabbles, people don't really seem to pay attention to.
Well, we're not paying attention to squabbles in Spain either.
Right.
Exactly.
So-
And even if you would, you'd be confused by them, as I am.
But really, the whole point of this call is, Charlie, what do you think about Prince Harry?
Yeah. The whole.
Oh man, I'm so glad you said that the other day. I'm really sick of hearing about the UK's royals. Like, does anyone really care?
Part of me is like,
now that we're talking about it, we have you on the line. One of the things that was revealed in Harry's book was that King Charles used to do underwear handstands, and the kids they might be walking around the palace, and you never know. You open up a door, and there's Dad in his underwear doing handstands.
So King Charles,
King Charles,
former
yeah,
Prince Charles,
Former Prince Charles.
standing on his
Doing
hands
handstands
in
in
his
his underpants.
underwear.
So now you have
King
that
Charles,
visual.
stand doing handstands. Okay,
Yeah.
well, I'll have to start that tradition for my kids. King
In
Charles,
your underwear.
Yeah, here's-
because you're
in their
Charles.
whitey tighties.
You know,
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna say. Boxers or briefs. That's
I don't know if we want to know what kind of.
I think it's got to be boxers, and he probably has those little sock holders. Little sock things that are wrapped around your calf.
In my head, I was imagining whitey tighties.
I think I was
in.
in probably a little faded Benny Hillish.
Yes, I'm sure the music was going on.
Well, that's true.
I think it's the law.
Dad's doing handstands again.
Well, yeah. What are you gonna do?
Maybe Camilla likes that kind of stuff. I don't know.
All right. Well, hey, it's been fascinating,
Yeah,
Charlie.
it is.
Thanks for connecting with us, and we appreciate you being involved, especially with the trivia and every other way. And next time you're in town, as in North America,
Yeah. Well, if you move back, because isn't Livingston County going to be one of the premier
yeah, that was one of our news stories this morning. Livingston County is going to be seeing phenomenal growth over the
by
next
2050,
3 decades.
right?
Yeah.
So we'll be in like our 80s by then. Wow. Let that sink in for a minute.
That's
Yeah, I wrote that down. Let's see. You'll be about 82. I'll be like 84.
Oh.
Yeah, when
Yeah.
2050 gets here.
Okay.
I might be even older.
Yeah,
I
well,
don't
you
wanna
know.
do that. All right.
so.
Well,
all right.
Charlie, thanks so much for joining us and taking our call this morning. We
I
appreciate it.
appreciate you guys having me on. Thanks.
Yeah,
Call me
absolutely.
anytime.
Have a good
Bye.
one.
All right, thanks.
All right.
Charlie, our Madrid correspondent now, officially, kind of, right?
I guess so. Yeah.
If
I
there's
would say
anything
that
going
that's,
on in Spain, we're going to call Charlie. Save that number.
I got it. So obviously, if we do any international calling, it's got to be on my phone. I must have.
I'm limited. You've got the new iPhone. Mine's not
no,
connected.
I
in
wonder if it's
Spain.
the whatever your. I wonder if it's your package.
Everybody does. I'm not really sure if it's my package.
I mean,
or
if
not,
King
but-
Charles is in his tiny whities, you can't help but wonder what his package is. And
All right.
all right.
You know, we're we have the 2-cent history lesson coming
Yes.
up in just a few minutes.
Yes, we do.
Of course, our premier sponsor, Firehouse Stores. Mike and Kim Witt have been sponsors and supporters of this show ever since we started almost a year ago.
That's right. They're celebrating their 25th year of serving Livingston County, and here in their anniversary month, January, you'll get $25 off a service call if you mention Mike and John.
How about that?
Yeah, and be listening for additional silver anniversary promotions in the coming months. Of course, 2023, their silver anniversary year, celebrating that. And of course, they are family owned. They strive to treat each customer like family. They're veteran owned. Mike Witt, a proud U.S. Air Force veteran. You can call Firehouse Doors today, 810-599-7480. And don't forget, on February 1st, we will be drawing the winner to win a $500 gift card, courtesy of Firehouse Doors, as they celebrate their 25th year.
And there's only one way to enter.
Right,
And
exactly.
that's on our website at mikeandjohnpodcast.com.
Right.
Go to the contest section. Is it still? Can you read it up there?
Not really.
See, I'm used to looking at when we had the phone up there. I could see what was going on.
Right.
I have long distance checking in here.
And
the right
if
screen
our
is
camera
the left
woman, Beth, could zoom in.
Yeah. Beth's not here.
Okay.
So there will be no zooming.
All right.
All right. But you can enter online, mikeandjohnpodcast.com,
Right.
for a chance to win that $500 Visa gift card from Firehouse
All
Doors.
right, we'll draw that out Wednesday, February 1st. So.
Coming up tomorrow, Rich Perlberg joins us for The Less You Know. Do we know anything that Rich is covering for tomorrow yet?
I don't know. Usually
We'll see. We talked football last week.
Right.
We'll see what.
I mean,
Maybe Rich has a perspective on Livingston County becoming so large.
I think the growth. Some of the comments I saw, because the story got posted on some of the other like community pages, and people were not happy. I think a lot of the.
Let's look at how things were when we first started, and it was around the time that Charlie graduated from Brighton High School. We started at the radio station
Right.
in the early 2000s, and just the growth since then. I mean, remember what a big deal it was when the Chilson Road overpass was put up. That was like, and when they redid the
you mean the Latson Road?
Latson Road,
Yeah,
I'm
Latson
sorry.
Road overpass,
Latson
yeah.
Road overpass, and then even when they redid the ramp from 96
Right.
to Grand River, the Lake Chemung exit.
Because
I
that
mean,
was originally
that
like,
was like take your life
Yeah.
in your own hands
Yeah,
because there was no light there.
Right.
And I was like, okay,
Well, you
can
were-
I go? Can I not go?
right. You were crossing traffic and
Yeah.
it was nuts.
So there's been so much growth between Howell and Brighton. Fowlerville has grown tremendously. So you look at that.
Well, Ladson Road, I mean, talk about the overpass, which was, south across 96. But, Ladson Road, when we started, I mean, when I first started, coming out here and before I even lived out here in 2002, Ladson Road was a dirt road.
Right.
Pretty much north of where Meyer is. You go like maybe half mile. I think from Golf Club North, it was dirt. And even just the section of Grand River, between, say, Ladson and you go back to Door Road, that was almost all farmland. Now, some of it is, but almost all of that's filled in now.
So the growth tremendous just in the past 20 years.
Right.
And then
And it's
you're looking at another 27 years ahead.
gonna
ahead now.
continue, and-
it's going to continue. And the people that wanted to build that wall around Livingston County, it's probably not going to happen.
No, it's
because like, don't let them in. They'll want to change everything.
Well,
These hipsters.
Here's the thing: it's like we want your money. If you could just leave your money at the county border and then get out of here, that'd be great.
just kind of drop it
Because
off.
with growth becomes, I mean, that's the thing. All communities want to grow, or at least some don't. They want to seek growth. New people come in, but then you get that divide between the folks that have always lived here and those that are coming in, and they're the new ones coming in have an expectation of what the community is going to be, and those that are already here are like, hey, we like it just the way it is.
But you got to remember when Taco Bell was first built.
Oh, wow,
What a thrill that was.
That was huge.
And White Castle.
Don't
when
forget
it
White
came
Castle.
To, yeah, White Castle.
I mean,
came to
dear
Howell.
Lord, they had
Oh, people
news
lined
choppers overhead.
Now, when Chick-fil-A comes, look out.
Oh, you
man.
kidding me? Oh, that's it.
But
then.
we don't want any growth.
Yeah.
Chick-fil-A's coming.
I
got
don't
Taco
know.
Bell.
I don't know if we're going to have a conversation tomorrow with this. I think we just had it. So yeah, we'll find out. But interesting stuff.
we'll chat with,
I'll
Rich
tell you,
tomorrow.
as the area has grown, some places, of course, they retain that
Water?
community feel.
Yes, they do.
Of course, we're talking about Murphy's Family Auto. You can turn to Murphy's Family Auto for all your auto repair and vehicle maintenance needs.
So smooth.
Oh, yeah. Since 2011, Murphy's Family Auto has been specializing in car and truck care, including engine and transmission work, electrical services, heating, cooling issues, and brakes. It's the whole shebang. You can call Murphy's Family Auto, 517-552-3040, or go online, murphysfamilyauto.com.
They're open on Saturdays from 8 to 1. And if you mention Mike and John sent you, you get 5% off your bill.
That's right.
How about that? So thanks to Murphy's Family Auto. Our 2-cent history lesson for today, it is Wednesday, the 11th of January. 2-cent history brought to you by Oakland Insurance, Drew Goebel and Company. Today is National Step in a Puddle and Splash Your Friend Day.
Oh.
Somebody actually did that, and they said we should make a day about that.
Why would you?
I don't know that I've ever. Well,
if you want to
maybe
get rid of a friend, I guess, I don't.
You gotta be wearing
Unless
your
you're
rubber
4.
boots.
If you're 4, maybe. Or act like
It's
you're
probably just for kids. It's Learn Your Name in Morse Code Day. There is a website for that if you Google it. You can Google the Morse Code Translator website.
Don't you remember you had walkie-talkies, they had little Morse code on the back? Had the dot, and you'd sit there and you try and tap out a message.
I never could figure it out.
Yeah, I know. You get 3 letters in, you'd be like, the hell with it. Hey, Bob, I'm over here.
That's right. Breaker 19. It's Secret Pal Day. Secret Pal. Hey, pal. When does anybody call anybody pal anymore?
Pal. And when they do,
it's usually buddy.
Is it out of the side of their mouth?
Hey, pal.
Hey,
Hey, pal. What, are we in a Mickey Rooney movie?
Right. Or pal is one of those words I think it could be, it's almost menacing the way you use it. All right, pal. Look here, pal.
Kind of like a thumbs up to the kids these days.
Yeah.
It's on this day in 1569, the first recorded lottery was drawn. What's the lottery up to now? Is that like?
Did anyone win it on Monday?
I don't think so.
Are you kidding
At
me?
St. Paul's Cathedral in England. First lottery, 1569. In 1878, milk was delivered in glass bottles for the first time in New York City.
Now we're talking.
Milk in glass bottles. I don't know that I've ever really.
Or it was on Tuesday. It's now at $1.35 billion. That is the second largest in history.
All right, pal, go buy your ticket.
Yeah.
They say there's, the experts say there's no numbers that get drawn any more than any others.
Right.
In the you got your ticket already?
Well, I mean, I got my ticket for last night's.
Well,
I didn't win the big prize, but maybe it's just
Maybe you got the little prize. Whoops, missed it by one.
that's what my wife calls me.
You got, speaking of packages, 1902, Popular Mechanics magazine was published for the first time. Used to be something you would see on
Okay.
the magazine table at the doctor's office or dentist's office. Okay, I guess we're doing a show
Yeah,
tomorrow.
well,
too.
what are you gonna
Sorry
do?
about that.
What are you gonna do?
1922, the first successful use of insulin to combat the effects of diabetes was used in a Canadian on a Canadian aristocrat.
Oh, of course. Richie Rich gets it first.
I'll test it out on you. The first recorded snowfall in Los Angeles happened on this day in 1949.
I mean, it doesn't mean it didn't happen before. It's just
The first recorded.
somebody noticed.
Hey, look, it's snowing.
Hey,
Now it's like raining like crazy in California. 1964, Ring of Fire by Johnny Cash became the first country album to go #1 in the U.S. Doesn't that seem kind of late? I mean, country was around for such a long time.
well, it was the first. I guess you could say it's the first crossover.
Country, yeah. Then
I mean, because it
it
doesn't
was on the
specifically
old country
say.
and western charts.
Did it go on the? Does it say country and western chart?
No, it was on the U.S.
Yeah.
U.S. album chart.
Right. So
First country album.
I guess you could say right. That's the first crossover album.
So it wasn't Garth Brooks?
No.
Wasn't Alabama? No. Alabama.
Or what about
Alabama.
Achy Breaky Boy?
Oh, that was in the 90s.
I know.
Achy Breaky Boy.
But have you seen him recently? By the way.
Billy Ray?
Yeah.
Billy Ray.
His hair.
No.
Oh,
Does he still have the mullet?
It's no. He did something with his hair, and somebody said, "Oh God, what did I see?"
I can't believe we're talking about Billy Ray Cyrus. Miley Cyrus is much more popular than Billy Ray ever was.
And I wonder, it's let's see if we can.
Can we find a graphic on Billy Ray?
There was a picture of his new. Yeah, here it is.
Okay. Is it kind of a? He almost looks like he could be on an SUV.
Oh, that's from.
and
that's an old
Special
one.
Crimes.
I forgot. Somebody.
Law and Order.
Yeah. Anyway, he's got like it's almost like '80s rock hair.
Ah, well, that's
You
coming
know.
back, John.
Yeah, it is.
I don't know.
When's balding coming back?
Balding is a thing for forever.
Tell me about it.
1967, the Jimi Hendrix Experience recorded Purple Haze. Jimmy also signed the new record deal with Track Records on this day. So he recorded Purple Haze.
Yeah, first song with LGBTQ theme.
Purple
Excuse
Haze.
me while I kiss this guy.
Smokey.
Kiss
Bobby
this guy.
Knight became basketball's Big Ten winningest coach on this day in 1990. 229 victories.
Celebrated by throwing a chair.
I was going to say, he's so known for that chair incident.
And others, but yeah, that sort of defined it.
Kind of a temper tantrum. And I can say, working with John,
I've not
knowing
thrown a
John
chair.
for as long as I have, you have not thrown a chair, but you've come pretty close.
I've
Maybe a few computers.
there's a couple times I've been really tempted to throw like a stapler through the monitor, but I haven't.
No, you.
Yeah, and now that we actually bought this equipment,
you
now
gotta
I'm
be
not.
there.
No,
No,
that was
there's-
somebody else's crap.
I made him sign a thing saying,
that's
I'm totally responsible if I
right.
throw anything.
Right.
1999, NSYNC won the Favorite Pop Rock New Artist Award at the 26th Annual American Music Awards in LA, 1999. That's when we first met Justin Timberlake. NSYNC. Do you remember the first song in NSYNC?
No, have no idea. Do you?
I want to say Bye Bye Bye, but I could be wrong. It's probably not.
Yeah.
But
Although that's a fun meme.
Bye,
to
bye,
use. Have you ever seen the
yes.
bye 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 meme?
It was on this day in 2010. Mark McGuire.
From Sugar Ray?
No, Mark McGuire.
Oh, that's Martin. Who am I thinking of? He was a singer for
Mark,
Sugar.
his name was Mark.
It was okay. I don't know.
Mark McGrath.
Yeah, you're
Mark
right.
McGrath. Mark McGuire. Mark McGrath may
He
have
was the
admitted
baseball
this, too.
star. Yeah. Okay.
Mark
got it.
McGrath admitted to using steroids while in the band Sugar Ray.
And no one cared.
And on Entertainment Tonight.
We just assumed you were using drugs.
So Mark McGuire admitted that he had used Steroids and human growth hormone when he broke baseball's home run records back in 1990.
Not the guy with the neck as thick as a tree trunk. Not him.
But he did say it was just because, it was more recovery than anything else. Still had to hit the ball.
Right.
Barry Bonds did the same thing. He just, I don't know if he ever admitted it or not.
He never did. I don't think he ever did.
I don't think so. But that would mean that he never used the steroids either.
Well, no.
Pete Rose never bet on
Of
his
course
own
not.
team. Yeah.
I think Pete eventually did.
Did he?
Yeah, I think so.
Might have. He probably put an asterisk by that too. I might have placed it there.
So, all right.
That's your 2 cent history lesson for today. Brought to you by Oakland Insurance. See Drew Goebel or give him a call today. Find out more about home, life, insurance.
Just life in
Not
general.
Just life in
Just
general.
Hi,
No,
Drew.
Insurance we're talking
I
about.
want to talk to you about life.
And he probably will talk to you about life
He
too.
might. He might. Yeah.
Drew's got quite the personality.
That's true. Owning a business is a labor of love, and your insurance should make that more work. Drew Goebel at Oakland Insurance, make sure that it is actually a very smooth transition. Of course, he believes the best relationships are honest, upfront, and fair. You can depend on Oakland Insurance and Michigan-based Frankenmuth Insurance to personally work with you on your insurance needs. Call Drew Goebel at Oakland Insurance today, 248-647-2500.
I think we learned a lot today overall.
Did we, though?
I mean, we talked to Charlie in Spain, learned a little about that there really isn't siesta time. They take 2 hour
Right.
They take 2 hour lunches. We also learned a little about Prince Charles,
Doing
King
handstands.
Charles now.
Well, it's King Charles.
Handstands in his underpants.
So
There's
no
a
wonder
visual.
Harry left. I got to get out of here.
Cutting all royal ties.
I mean, was he still doing that when he was with Meghan? Like, Harry walks in with Meghan, and there's
Hey, Dad,
there's
I
your
got
dad.
yeah.
Hello, son. Check out the crown
But
jewels.
see, isn't it every dad's job to embarrass your kids?
Well, that's true.
So that he was just doing his dad
Well,
thing.
that's right. That's
Good thing
sweet.
he didn't have daughters.
So, all right.
That's going to do it for us.
God, let's hope so. All right, we'll see you Thursday with Rich Perlberg and the Less You Know here on Mike and John Got It Going On. Brought to you, of course, by Firehouse Doors.
We'll see you.
Mike and John got it going on.
You've been giggling with Mike and John. Tune in next time and giggle on.